imagine, the table topics is this really frightening thing that you want to tackle and eventually overcome this type of challenge. So it's also another great way of presenting an idea. And another example of that is Lawrence talking about his boss as his wife. Now, I know in Chinese, this is actually quite common. We talk about this. When my dad always tells my mom, or tells other people, I got to talk to my boss first. But in English, it's a little bit, it's not as common to use. So that's also a very good way of describing the relationship with your wife. So we've got all these great examples of language, but we've also got some things that we need to improve on. And we actually have to go back to the basics. Now, what do I mean by that? Pronunciation is very, very important. Now, I know the background of this is, a lot of us are Chinese people, so our first language, our mother tongue is Chinese, and some of the things we don't pick up quite as quickly in English. So pronunciation, pronounce your words clearly. So for example, today we talked about growth factor. Sometimes I've heard grow fatter. So that's a little bit different. With context, I understand, okay, they meant growth factor, but if someone didn't understand, so that would be a very different image. So one way to improve on that is just listen and listen more to English speakers, and you'll eventually pick it up very quickly. Another issue that we had was plural and singular. So sometimes I heard we was instead of we were, or our life instead of our lives. So I'm sure we all know the rules. We just need to rehearse it a little bit more and think about it a little bit more when we come up to Penn State. And finally, we have an overuse of a word. Now, this doesn't actually count towards the repeated words because the word that I found was actually. Some people use actually quite a lot. In some cases, it's actually a valid use when you're comparing and contrasting a myth versus reality, but a lot of the time we use it as a filler word. So remember not to overuse the words and think about the purpose when you're using it. And that's all I have for you. And back to you.